The laser wavered for a split second before locking perfectly between his thick, furrowed brows. He blinked, just once, and in that fleeting instant, the smug grin that had stretched across his face disappeared. Behind him, her hands quivered. It was subtle, almost hidden, but I caught it. They always shook like that when she wasn't certain where her loyalty truly lay. He stood there, puffed up like some exaggerated stereotype from a high school gym, chest inflated, veins pulsing through taut skin. The kind of man who thought brute force made him invincible. She hovered partly concealed behind his broad frame, as though his size might somehow shield her, as if sheer mass could stop a bullet fired from over 1,000 yards out. "Don't be stupid," he snarled, chest heaving with every breath. "Turn around, or I'll snap your neck." I met his threat with a cold, unwavering smile. 12 years as a contract killer, 9 officially documented kills. Another 5 that remained unaccounted for, because I never missed, and the bodies were never recovered. That's the truth about men like him. No matter how big they are, they fall just the same. Especially when they were never the real objective to begin with. 3 weeks earlier, she had whispered a name in her sleep. A name that wasn't mine. Spoken softly, tenderly. I didn't wake her. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling while the silence wrapped around me like the stillness after a blaze, ash gently settling in my ears. The following morning, she greeted me with a kiss like nothing had happened. We talked about trivial things over coffee. Her phone vibrated on the table, an unfamiliar name on the screen. I asked casually, "Who's Cam?" She froze for a fraction of a second, coffee cup midway to her lips. "Coworker," she said, too quickly, too sharply. I didn't react. Just smiled and gave a slow nod. Most people think betrayal hits like lightning, sudden and loud. But really, it's quiet. It creeps in like a slow-burning fuse, hidden until the flames are already too close. She didn't even realize it had begun. I moved through the next days the same way I used to navigate hostile territory, silent, alert, unnoticed. I pulled the GPS logs from her car, comparing locations with dates and times. She wasn't working late. Her car had been parked for hours at a high-rise across town. Same building, same unit, different days. Repeated visits, all to one place. Unit 1412. That's where Cameron lived. I reached out to an old intelligence contact and asked for a background check. Cameron Rhee. Amateur bodybuilder. 2 assault charges, both dismissed. Definitely not her usual taste. Then again, I didn't seem to be her taste anymore. The next clue was tucked in her gym bag, a toothbrush. Not hers. The bristles were a different type. The faint scent of a cologne I never wore clung to the handle. Still, I kept my mouth shut. That's what destroys men like him in the end. Not the betrayal, not being caught, but the silence. The calm. The envelope landed in my mailbox at precisely 2:37 p.m. on a Thursday. I already knew what it contained. I opened it carefully, like disarming a bomb. DNA results. My name. Her name. Cameron Rhee. And a prenatal report. She was 6 weeks along. We hadn't touched each other in over 2 months. The last time we had, I remember how she flinched, as if the weight of a secret was pressing down on her. She turned off the lights too quickly. Her guilt had a pulse. That night, I waited for her. A full dinner on the table. Her favorite wine. Everything set just right. She walked through the door and froze when I handed her the envelope. I watched her eyes scan the report. Watched the color drain from her face. Her jaw trembled, parted to speak, but nothing came out. Tears spilled over without sound. I stood still. Didn't move. Didn't speak. Eventually, she broke the silence. Said she was lost. Said it was a mistake. A mistake. What a soft word for something so sharp. Betrayal should come with a warning sticker. Clerical error ahead. And now, here we were again, back in the room with a muscle-bound loudmouth, puffed up like he was invincible, and her tucked behind him, still unsure which of us was more dangerous. "You don't scare me," he spat, trying to recover. "You're just some washed up." The laser shifted. The red dot jerked slightly on his forehead. He froze mid-sentence. "See that?" I said, voice low, voice flat. "That's not a threat. That's a guarantee." His eyes lifted at last, tracking the red, finally understanding there was a scope on him from somewhere nearby. A rooftop. A window. It didn't matter. I stepped forward, calm, controlled. "She didn't tell you, did she?" I asked. "About the baby. Your baby." His mouth dropped open. Shock. "She kept it from you because she wanted to pretend it was mine," I continued. Her face went ghostly pale. "I'm not here to fight," I said. "Just wanted you to know who you're getting into bed with." Then I turned to her. "Don't call. Don't come after me. If I see either of you again, it won't be to talk." I walked away then, leaving behind nothing but silence. And this time, I didn't look over my shoulder. Some betrayals slice clean. Others keep bleeding long after the wound is made. Quiet, hidden places no one else can see. But I'd learned a long time ago how to close wounds without stitching them up. You stop searching for explanations. You stop needing closure. You just face the truth. She wasn't who I believed she was. Maybe she never had been. And me. I was never meant to be anything but a weapon. She just reminded me what that truly meant. A weapon doesn't cry. It doesn't plead. It doesn't regret pulling the trigger. It only ensures it never misses. And I don't miss.